How's it going, Guardians? Shifty here, and today I'm going to be doing a guide on how to quickly complete the Empty Tank Legend Lost sector. In this video, I will be showing a full run on all three classes. I will also be including live commentary to give you some tips along the way and to give you an idea of what my strategy is. In this particular video, each run was done in around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That puts this Legend Lost sector up there with some of the fastest ones to complete this season. Now, before I get into my loadout for this one, if you end up enjoying the video, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Alright, for this video, I want to start by going over my subclass and exotic choice for each of my classes. On my Warlock, I went with Chaos Reach and Geomag Stabilizers, and then for my Titan, I went with Thunder Crash, and I am using Cuirass of the Falling Star, although you can get away without using this. On my Hunter run, I went with Bottom Tree Arcstrider, and I paired that with Raiden Flux. Moving on to my weapons, in my kinetic slot I have the Biting Winds kinetic bow, and this is for overload champions. Any kinetic bow should work fine here. Then for my energy weapon I have the Ariana's Vow special hand cannon that does solar damage. This has intrinsic anti-barrier round, so I'll be using it for barrier champions. It also gets a 50% damage boost in this particular lost sector because of solar burn. And lastly, I have the negative space sword. This is also for overload champions if I want to use it for that, but it's also to be able to do damage to some of the champions. This also gets that 50% solar damage boost. One thing I do want to mention is you should try to build into intellect for this lost sector. That way you have a better chance of having your super up by the time you make it to the boss fight. And as for my armor mods, I'll just quickly show you each piece of armor, and if you need to see anything in more detail, just pause the video. My armor mod selection is the same on all three classes, so I'm just going to show them to you once on my Warlock. And that is all I have for my loadout in this one. There will be timestamps if you want to skip to a particular run. Otherwise, let's jump right into it. So right at the beginning of the lost sector, we are going to have an overload champion. I'm going to go ahead and stun that right away. Then take it out with my sword. When the door opens up, I'm going to try to take out a few enemies right off the bat here. Then I'm going to move over to the DJ station here and go for this barrier champion. When the barrier champion is down, if I can't activate this council yet, I'm going to still take out a few more enemies here. And now I can activate it. Once I do that, the door is going to open in the back there. You may see why I have arc damage resistance on here. It's to be able to move past all of those enemies. Then we're going to have some Thrall and some War Beasts. I'm just going to run past them. They're going to end up following me anyway. When they do that, I'm going to go ahead and use my sword. Then we're going to have a couple of enemies in this room. When those three are down, we're going to have an overload champion as well as several other enemies off to the left here. I'm going to wait till they spawn and throw a grenade. Be ready to stun the champion. When the champion is stunned, I'm going to head in there with my sword. As soon as that grouping of enemies is down, we're going to have a barrier champion off to the right here, along with some war beasts. And now I'm going to go for the barrier champion. As soon as the barrier champion is down, I'm going to head to the back of the room here. I'm going to go for this barrier champion that's next to the boss. And I'm going to strafe back and forth so I don't get sniped. I'm going to go ahead and use my super first on that enemy. And then I'm going to go ahead and use it on the boss. As soon as the boss is down, I'm going to make my way to the chest room, which is off to the right here. And there we have it. That was a platinum completion of the Empty Tank Legend Lost sector on a Warlock in under 2.5 minutes. Now I'm going to try to show you some quick runs on a Titan and a Hunter as well. Here we are on a Titan, and this run should look pretty similar all the way up until the boss fight. Take out the overload right at the beginning. Be prepared to take out some enemies right away in this room. Head on over to the DJ station here. Make sure I take out this mine right there. And I'm going to go ahead and try to go for this Barrier servitor. Once the barrier servitor is down, I want to go ahead and take out some more enemies here. When I can get the council activated, I will, but I have to take out presumably 1 or 2 more enemies here. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and activate that and then head to the doorway in the back of the room. I pulled my sword out so I would get the passive guard benefits. Like my Warlock Run, we're just going to go ahead and jump past all of these enemies here. They're going to end up following me anyway, and I'm going to go ahead and use my ballistic slam on all of them. Looks like I didn't quite get all of them yet. Come up here and take these 3 guys out. And be ready for the enemies spawning out of this doorway. I'm going to go ahead and toss a grenade now. When those enemies are down, we're going to go over to the right to be ready for the barrier champion. Take out these war beasts as well, of course. Make sure I don't get hit by too many of the rockets from the barrier champion there. So this is where it's going to be different. I'm going to go ahead and super right away on my Titan here. I'm going to go ahead and super the barrier champion specifically, and even the boss. As soon as that's done, I'm going to head to the chest. And the boss fight was a lot simpler on a Titan there. All I had to do was Thunder Crash with Cuirass of the Falling Star, and I took out both the champion and the boss. Now, last but not least, I'm going to show you a hunter run. Alright, so this run is probably only going to differ by the boss fight as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the overload right at the beginning. As soon as the overload is down, I'm going to be ready with Ariana's Vow to take out some enemies in this room. I'm going to toss a grenade over there this time. And I'm going to head over here, make sure I get rid of this, and go for the barrier champion. I'm going to go ahead and take out a few more of these snipers so I'm safe going to the door in the back. So I'm going to head for now. Again, going to pull out my sword for the passive guard benefit. Just jump over the enemies quick. Likewise, I'm just going to go ahead and jump over all of these and then use my sword after the fact. I'm going to head over here to grab that orb of power and then head to the left to be ready for the overload champion. As soon as I see the enemies, I'm going to toss a grenade. I'm going to go ahead and get this vandal out of the way. I'm going to head off to the right here for the barrier champion and some war beasts. And now that the champion is down, I'm going to go ahead and backtrack a little bit to get the other champion that's near the boss. And now that I have my super, I'm going to go ahead and use it for the boss. And that should be enough to take the boss out. As you can see, my hunter run was a little bit over 2 minutes and 30 seconds. However, that's still pretty good for this particular lost sector. Overall, in this video, I covered platinum completions of the Empty Tank Legend Lost Sector on all 3 classes in around 2 minutes and 30 seconds. If you ended up enjoying the video, make sure to like and subscribe. I just want to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.